Hey, what's up everybody? It's in Pixelation again with another video walkthrough, and this time is for Alex Kidd The Lost Stars, which is the second game from the Alex Kidd video game series. Here we go, first level. Now, what you need to watch out for in the beginning of the game is the fact that you can't shoot anybody, you don't have ammo. So what you need to do is just patiently wait and just jump whatever you can, not like me. Jump over most of the enemies that you encounter because, as I said, you have no way to retaliate. Now, even if you do get hit, just don't worry too much about it, because that power up right there, SC, will restore some of your health, some of the health that you lost. Now, around this part right here, you should find your first ammo power up, whatever. It's a C square that just kind of, you'll see it right about now, and this ain't it. Oh, here it is. Now we got ammo. Now what you want to do is just shoot those trains, and here, before jumping to the other side, make sure you don't land on one of the cars. Like, yeah, not like that, just, you know what I mean. Time your jump so you don't get to collide with any of the cars. Now that yellow thing that just showed up there, I don't know what it does, I don't know what it is. I'll just try and pick it up anyway. But yeah, now all you have to do is just jump, jump, jump. Now thing is, compared to other games from its time period, Alex Kidd has pretty good jump mechanics. Can't complain with that. The story might not make any sense whatsoever. That's only because the Sega Master System version of the game, they had to cut a lot of things from it, and they kinda assumed at the time that if you bought the game to play it on the home console, you knew the story of the game from the arcade version of it. So they just kinda left most of the story out, if not all, for obvious reasons of space and all that. Now all you have to do is just, as you've seen, just jump over that guy. Now the interesting fact at the end of the levels in this game is you don't get to fight any bosses. So there's no boss whatsoever in the whole game. All you have to do is watch out, because at the end of every level there's some kind of thing that kind of shoots at you just to get you to lose all your health, basically. Well, yeah, avoid the robots as much as you can. As I said, if you do get hit a couple of times, just don't worry about it too much. You're gonna make it up. There's plenty of SC power-ups. See, like this one, that'll restore your life. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to wait around too long, because that'll decrease your life too. For these platforms here, all you have to do is just, yeah, sit, trying to land kind of like in the edges of them. Now this area is pretty easy, especially in the first playthrough of the game, because actually there's not a second playthrough, it's just one playthrough, but they only had the space on the cartridge to make 7 levels, so they just kind of recycled them and to make it kind of have like 14 levels. Only difference is the 8th level is the first level, but with more enemies. So, and the amount of damage the enemies do to you, it's increased. Oh yeah, what you need to watch out for while you're on the platforms, like the moving platforms, the ones that go from left to right and right to left, you don't want to move. Once you're landed on a platform, you don't want to move, because apparently if you do move, the platform moves faster than you and you're gonna get left behind. Now even if you fall down like I did the first time, the game isn't over. You just respawn at the previous checkpoint within the level, so it's not an immediate loss. You didn't just lose the level. You don't have to start over again. Now what I do here is just take advantage of the after hit immunity. You can do that with certain end levels, but most of them they're calculated in a way that by the time you reach the 3/4 of the screen again, your after hit immunity is gone and you might get hit again, because at that very end of the level, like the final stretch, if you do get hit by something, you will get spawned back at the left side of the screen, and usually your after hit immunity doesn't last that long to just make you still need to watch out for enemies. They kind of thought that up so they wouldn't make it too easy on the players. Now what the hell is that? Now that's one. Picture this: you're a 6-year-old kid. You just made it to this level. Last thing you expect is this motherfucker here showing his ass and shooting skulls out of his ass or whatever. Kind of makes you wonder what the hell he eating if skulls come flying out of his ass. But yeah, this level 2, this is third level. As I said, the first version of the levels, they're easy. All you have to do is just jump over most of the enemies. Like right here, this bit right here, what you want to do is jump right there on top. Like you see right there, that'll spare you a lot of pain. You can just hop over almost anything till you get to this vine over here. Here, if you're lucky, you might not get hit like me, but even if you do take a hit, just ignore it. This guy with the spear though gets me every time. Or these guys, what you want to do with these guys, as you've seen, if they follow each other in a pattern, you're screwed. What you want to do is kind of just scroll into the screen a little bit to make the first one come towards you, so you kind of separate them, you know, to make it in a way that at a certain point they're close to each other and you can bypass them during the after hit immunity, because if not, they're a pain in the ass to get over. Now the water level in this game is way easier than it is in the first one, because you don't get the spike room or nothing like that. Just basically swimming and dodging and making sure your timer doesn't run out. Nothing fancy. Only place in the level that kind of requires a little bit of attention is when you get to the jellyfish. The jellyfish do a lot of damage to you, because there's a lot of them, so you might have a chance to get hit a couple of times and lose a lot of health just right there real quick. Now the squid, as long as you just keep out of their way, don't let them shoot that black pea or whatever they're shooting at you, you good. The squid's nothing basically in this game. Now this fish, I don't know what it is, never hit me, so I don't know if it does any amount of massive damage or whatever. You see here we got to the clam or whatever jellyfish things that spawn little jellyfishes. Jellyfish, is that a word? Fuck. My grammar, shit, bad, my bad. But yeah, only thing is, at the end of the level, jellyfish will be there again. So as I said, special care there, especially at the end of the level, because of the end level mechanics that I explained earlier. But yeah, just in this water level, all you have to do is just keep your eyes on the timer. It's just basically a walk in the park, nothing compared to the water room in the first Alex Kidd game. Also, these electric eels or whatever, as long as you stay out of their lightning bolts, you should be just fine. See, like here, I dodged them nicely, but sometimes you don't get to be that lucky, and if you get hit by one of the jellyfish in the beginning of the final stretch and you think that the after hit immunity will last long enough for you to make it, you're wrong. So if you make a run for the exit, make sure you don't run into anything. This level right here, this is, apart from the top, you don't have nothing to shoot your enemies with, and this guy, just even if you had something to shoot him, he wouldn't fall down. This level is really short. Like, there's nothing to it. You just make a couple of jumps, make it to the balloon, and that's, you kind of almost did there. Now, this bit right here, you just want to ride this platform like like that, right close up to the end. Now you got ammo, not gonna really need it. Be really careful with these platforms, because once he reaches that lower green one, they disappear real quick. So try not to be on the platform when he gets close to there. Now these hands, they're just nothing. Basically just have to wait for them to fall, that's it. Wait for them to fall and just shoot them. Nothing too fancy. See, like me, I didn't wait. But this bit here, they wanted to add a little bit of Indiana Jones to the thing, I think. But it didn't really work, at least not for me. Anyway, we're getting close to the end of the level. Now, this thing, I have no idea what it is. What you want to do is jump off of it before it takes you to the dinosaur's mouth. And these flying dragons, I guess, they'll keep spitting eggs at you, so be careful of it. Now, what I don't understand is, why are all these stars just hidden inside random objects? This is what I don't understand. It does make no sense to me. But hey, games were known to be weird back then. Back then we didn't need, I don't know, just awesome graphics and cool storylines. What am I saying? We didn't need cool storylines just like now. Graphics, these were awesome graphics at the time. We were like, it didn't get better than this in '88. This was like huge step up from what Atari was doing back in '82, '83. So yeah, this at the time, this was top of the line graphics. I'm amazed that Sega didn't do better than Nintendo compared to, because graphic wise the Master System was way superior. But hey, I guess just poor marketing, and most of you guys that check out these video walkthroughs, you all know the story of the first console war, so you don't need me to explain it here. Now those platforms back there, they're tricky as hell. So what you want to do is, once you land, stay to the middle of them and don't rush. Wait for the next platform to show up. Don't jump too soon thinking the platform will spawn. It usually doesn't. And if it does, you're really fucking lucky. because it usually doesn't. Once you jumped off your platform without having another platform to land on, the game screws you over. So don't do it, just wait. Now this area right here, this is really easy to get through. I don't know what the raindrop deal is, like why did they have to add the raindrop enemies or whatever. They kind of remind me of an old Commodore 64 game I used to play when I was like 3 years old. It was called Jam something, I don't know. It was with a rat and some drops, water drops, jam drops that fell out of the... I don't remember, just something I played long ago. Now these things, as you've seen, the last set of whatever the hell they are, just 3 green jelly fucking things, I don't know what they call. The second set has a small gap between 2 of them, so you just need to time your jump accordingly to not get hit. Now the 7th level, which marks the first, not playthrough, I wouldn't call it playthrough, the first half of the game, is Ziggurat or whatever it's called. I think it's Ziggurat. What you'll notice in this level as soon as you start is the jump. This is one thing I used to like when I was a kid. This is like what? They really thought about fucking gravity, you know? Just this guy jumps because there's no gravity in this level. Alex kid jumps at least twice as much and higher as usual, you know. So yeah, that kind of blew my mind, right? Like back in the day, it was like, shit, man, they thought about something like this, cause you didn't expect that. Most NES games or other Master System games, they just like same thing, scroll left to right. Ah shit, Alex just took it up the ass right there. Sorry you guys had to see that, but shit happens, I guess. Now what you want to watch out for is these platforms, they're slippery. So yeah. Now you need to take that S power up, you need to shoot. If you don't have ammo to shoot, then this end of the level will be really hard for you, because you can't make it through this final stretch without shooting some of those wasp clouds or whatever the hell they are. Now normally this is what a game ends. This is what a game ends basically, but you get to play all the 7 levels over again at an increased difficulty, just because at the time, as I said, cartridge space was limited, so they couldn't mash up 14 levels for you in one cartridge without messing up the graphics, I guess, and cutting a lot of content from the already existing levels. So what they did was clone the 7 levels and just add extra enemies to them, you know. Like you see this version of the first level, you can tell it's a little bit harder just because the increased amount of enemies that come running. Like the first time I only came across one of those trains on this kind of track. Now by the time I reach the finish, I get to shoot down 3 or 4 of them. So not only you get more enemies, but you get to waste more of your ammo. So you need to kind of pay attention on what enemies you wanna use your ammo on. Luckily, this game isn't really, I don't know how to say this, it isn't really that taxing when it comes to ammo, so you kinda hardly ever run out of ammo. unless you just shoot it randomly. If you shoot it at enemies, the game will always provide ammo for you. Always. Here, oh shit. Yeah, what you want to do there is not get caught in between the moving block and the wall there. Now, while you getting close to the final stretch of the level, what you want to keep an eye out for is this guy again, because he's back. He's shooting those things just as before. Just use the green spring blocks just to jump over him. As I said, no bosses here. I remember I played this the first time. I saw that guy, I saw the exit sign, so I said to myself, shit, first boss, what do I do to this guy? So I just try to use the spring blocks to just kind of jump at him and shoot. I died so many times the first time just trying to understand why the fuck that guy doesn't want to die, you know? But then I was like, fuck it, man, I'ma just run through it, see what happens, and then took me to the next level and I was like, shit. But yeah, this level right here gets a little bit extra annoying just because of the extra amount of enemies. Like this guy here that wasn't in the first part. All you have to do is just wait for him. And you see, as I said, those platforms, all you have to do is land on either one of the sides, left or right. Never land in the middle. And always, especially now, because of because the enemies do more damage to you. Now you have to be more keep your eyes open more for the SC power-ups that'll restore your health. Basically, whatever you see a SC square thing, you need to get out of your way to pick it up. As I said, as soon as you land on a platform, don't move until it stops. Because if you do, the platform will run from under your feet. The platform moves faster than you. Here I just kind of take advantage of the after hit immunity. Just go through it. I always wonder what the hell that thing is from where the star came out of. I have no freaking clue. Maybe it meant something to you guys in the States before us in Europe. Shit, I don't know. Now these eyes, remember they weren't here before in the first version of the level. They're not particularly annoying, but you just need to time your jumps, as I said. One annoying thing about this game is every time you start a level, you start without ammo until you collect one of those ammo power-ups. So until you do that, all you have to do is resort to jumping over enemies. That's what it is. This guy again. Shit. I know they say Mortal Kombat is the reason they invented rating boards, but nah, man. That guy right there, he's the reason they invented rating boards. Because if you're a parent and you just walk into a room and your 6-year-old plays this game and you see a naked man shooting skulls out of his ass, you'd be like, what the fuck, you know? Especially back then in the late 80s, parents were like, what the fuck is this, you know? Because before the NES and the Sega Master System, it was Atari, and Jesus, you couldn't generate nudity on that even if you wanted to. I mean, people have tried with Crash of Revenge, I think, or whatever, some games like that. but that doesn't even get close to nudity. Like, just, you need to still use your imagination to be like, what the fuck is those squares on my screen doing, you know? But with the NAS and the Master System, it was different, because you could have put some nudity in there, you know, something that looked like nudity, and the last thing you wanted as a parent to see on the TV screen of your kid's game was some guy shooting skulls out of his ass, you know. Which I still don't understand why. I mean, why is he there? Just, that's a mystery to me. Like, how does that guy just fit in with the whole game environment? I mean, and with the level, where does that guy come from? But yeah, hey, anyway, back in the second version of the water level. Now, what you notice is, you see that scorecard pickup, or whatever it's called. That one was there in the first version too, but certain power-ups don't show up in the second version of a level. Like the last level, yeah, that word is notable. In the last level, all the power-ups that you pick up are mixed up between each other. So just because you picked up a power-up in the first version of a level, don't assume it's gonna be there in the second version too, because the game might switch them around a little bit. Now, here the game kind of screwed me over a little bit, but I managed to pick up that scorecard power-up, or whatever it's called. I think it's called a scorecard, I don't know, just seeing SC there and just, oh, scorecard. Now this level, just because it has more enemies than the first version, doesn't mean it's harder. Because, especially because this level, you just swim around. You don't have to do all those jumps that you do in the other levels. So, as I said, just because it has more enemies, yes, you have to be more careful and you have to dodge more enemies than normal. But that doesn't mean it's harder than the first one, in the first version of it. Especially since, from what I've noticed, this version of the water level, I mean the second version of it, has way more health power-ups than the first one. Like, you literally get them everywhere, basically. The level is designed so that you don't run out of life till you get to the end of the level, like I almost did here. Always, what you want to keep in mind is always have some ammo for the final stretch of the level. As I said, I can't stress that enough. Shooting one of those whirlwind things or whatever, gusts of wind or whatever, shooting one of that at the right time in the final stretch can mean between making it to the exit and repeating the whole level over again. So you really need to keep some ammo for the final stretch. Now, what you want to do in that first stretch of this level, don't jump, just keep walking. You won't fall if you keep on moving. You won't fall, except for this. What you want to do is you want to stay away from those flying egg shitting dragons or whatever. You want to stay away from them, because this level is kind of cheap when it comes to life power-ups. So you don't want to lose all your life in the first stretch of the level. Now, I know this level isn't isn't particularly long, but still, you know, better to be safe than sorry. Now, as I said, on this level here, right here, only difference in this bit of level is you get more of those armadillos. And always take care of with this. Just don't ride it all the way to the, because it will take you into the dinosaur's mouth. So don't ride it all the way to the end. Now, for me, in my opinion, that was the easiest final stretch from all the levels, because you just leave that egg-shitting bird or dragon or whatever the fuck that is way behind, and basically you have nothing. Once you jumped over the gap, you have nothing to worry about. You're home free, you know. Now, this level and the final level, they might get to you a little bit, especially from the amount of enemies that they just place basically at the right place from the game's point of view, just to make you suffer, basically. Like, no matter how much you see, like, I get hit so many times in this, probably also because of the fact that I know I'm not gonna, I know I can make it up, but certain power-ups, like that one there, they don't exist anymore. It used to be a scorecard power-up right there where I jumped. Instead, there's the water there. It just hurt me. So not only I didn't recover life, I lost some more. So yeah, on top of that, this level and the last one, they get just a little bit more annoying than the previous ones. You see, just land, jump over from one to the other only when you know you have a platform there. Otherwise, the game will screw you up. Trust me, it has screwed me over way too many times. Now, those lizard jumping things, I don't know what the hell they are, but they weigh more now than they were in the first version of the game, so they're not hard to deal with. Though you have to just shoot one of those gusts of wind at them and they're fine, and that's it. Now, the final stretch of this level, I find it to be the second most annoying fucking final stretch in the whole game, just because of those green gooey things that just hover around, you know, like these things. Shit, they move a little bit faster than the first time, so it's kind of hard to just time your jump right. And if you don't, you will lose all your life right here. It has happened to me a lot of times. So what you want to do is just time it right, don't rush, take your time, because if you do a couple of tries and bam, no life, you're back at the beginning of the level. Now, the Ziggurat level has one thing to it: stick to the upper side of it. It's basically, that's the first rule. Stick to the upper side of it. As soon as you get a chance to jump on a higher platform, do it. Don't keep on the lower platforms. Too much jumps to be done there, and too many extra enemies like this guy. Like, how the fuck are you gonna jump over him on the lower platforms without getting smacked? Now, I think you get the shooting power up earlier in the game compared to the first version of the level. But even if you do, yeah, as I said, you get it here instead of the final stretch. don't use it though. Keep it for the final stretch, because you will need it. Like this guy right here, he's just placed accordingly to take your life away. That's his sole purpose. There's no way to avoid him. Trust me, I've tried. And if it is, just let me know, so I'll be wiser from your experience, you know what I mean? Now, that fucking ice pole gets poor Alex every fucking time. His anus is fucking destroyed by that shit every fucking time I play it. Okay, see now these things, they shoot fire on the sides too, so keep an eye out for that too. Now this guy, he's not particularly more dangerous than the first time, but he does follow you more relentless, so yep, keep going for that exit. That's kind of it, you know. That's kind of the whole game. Now, what I don't understand, and I didn't understand with the first game neither, you know, I kind of thought with the second game they're gonna fix that, is the game has no ending. It just tells you, bam, you know, there it is, the end. But hey, what can we do? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to give a like and a subscribe if you do. I posted some links for some other videos, and stay tuned for more video.